Leo shows
Raider Nation. It's time to connect. Leo, Jay, Nate, Jeff, right. Yeah, silver and black. The crew is insane. Breaking down the madness before you can blink. Another week, wow, another storyline. But the Raider connection keeps it all in line. From Vegas lights to the East Coast grind. We talk that truth, no filter, no rewind. Four voices strong, so buckle in tight. It's time to bring the nation to life tonight. This is the Raider Connection Show, where the silver and black stories flow. Leo, J, Nate, and Jeff on go, breaking every play down blow by blow. R and 4L, you already know. Welcome to the Raider Connection Show. Leo with the facts, breaking down the scene. Jay brings a fire, keeping takes real mean. Nate on the road with the vibe and the view. And Jeff swings heavy when the nation needs truth. Wins or losses, we show up proud. Raising Raider Nation, loud and loud. Hit that chat, pull up, don't wait. This is family, this is connection, this is fate. Silver shields up, the energy grows. Four voices united everywhere that it goes. Every first down, every heartbreak hit. Raider Nation stays locked, we don't quit. This is the Raider Connection Show, where the silver and black stories flow. Leo, J, Nate, and Jeff on go, breaking every play down blow by blow. R and 4L, that's how we roll. Welcome to the Raider Connection Show. So grab your drink, hit subscribe, let's ride. Raider Nation strong, we never divide. From kickoff to the final echo, you're tuned into the Raider Connection Show. Hey! You're tuned into the Raider Connection Show.
Welcome back, everybody, to the next edition of the Raider Connection. Along with myself, 401 Raider Jeff. I got my guy, LV Raider 10, next to me. And on the other end is Jay from Just Raiders, baby. And as you can see, we're missing a fourth. Leo will be not here tonight, possibly. Maybe he'll pop in. Who knows? So for now, you get the three of us. So what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. How are you, bro?
What up, Jeff?
Good. So Jay and I got on live the other day when our new coach got hired. So we did. We were on for about 2 hours. I mean, the whole press conference thing went on forever. But it was exciting. So Nate, this is the first time I've been able to talk to you since that happened. So I want to get your feeling on everything here. What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, he was my first choice personally. I know you were a little skeptical until pen got to paper, but to me, it was kind of writing on the wall once we were out on all of the bigger head coaching candidates like Saleh and those guys kind of went early. And once I seen those guys already go and get jobs, I felt like, okay, I think we're gonna go all in on Klint Kubiak, and that's when he shot up to my top of my list. And I think the same thing happened with the Raiders, and I'm really excited. Obviously, we didn't get to see the best offensive performance out of the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl, but his resume really speaks for this entire season that the Seahawks put on film, and I'm really excited to see what he can do with this Raiders offense and what we're hoping to be a good year this year.
And Jay, I know like I said, you and I were on together for a while on Tuesday. You still in the same feeling? Obviously, I mean, that was fun. That actually was kind of fun. It was an enjoyable day.
Yeah, it was a great day. We finally got our guy, and now we can go ahead and start the path forward, and get everything in order and do things. We continue in doing the things the right way, and you got to go ahead and tip your hat and give an applause to Spytek and Brady for doing this the right way. It took a while, but in the end, we got our guy, which is all that matters. So, the journey back to greatness started yesterday, and let's just keep this thing moving, and I'm excited to go ahead and hear the new faces, the announcements on the coaching hires that are going to happen, and looking forward towards free agency, then the draft.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I was extremely happy on Tuesday, so it was a good day. I like you and I said, and I said it last night with Leo. Um, it was great to see all those Raider greats come in for this press conference. It just added a different atmosphere to everything I felt too.
Mhm.
Like in all honesty, when was the last time you saw Howie Long in the building?
I've
You know?
never seen Oliver Long. I don't
Yeah,
know what that.
he's like one of the guys that are never there.
Yeah, and when
Yeah.
I saw him walk up on the stage, I'm like, oh goddamn, Howie's there. I'm like, this is awesome. And then the fact that they did that post interview too, where they all sat down, with each former player or each Raider great one at a time, that was pretty cool too.
Mhm.
We were still live and talking, but I wasn't able to. I had to go back and rewatch some of it and everything. So that was actually pretty cool that they did that because I'd never seen them do that before either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's hit the chat up. Let's see what we got with us. We've got Sacktown Mike's in the house. We have Bueno's in the house. Jason First Downs is here. MC Raid is in the house. What's up, MC?
What up, MC?
Robert Pena. Tanner Jack. Silver and Black Coffee. What's up, man? What's up? AO's in the house. What's going on, man? Marcus Banks is here. Marcus. Marcus. It's you. God, yes. This. Rorschach's here. What's up, Rorschach?
What's good, Rorschach?
What did Jason say? I'm glad we got a coach who we targeted from the beginning. Oh, exactly. Rorschach, I'm here on this channel to show Nate love so I don't get fined.
I know, dog.
Yeah.
Again, make sure you show the love.
Ja Raiders in the house. I got something I'm going to play
Ja.
that Ja Raiders sent me. That was actually pretty cool. What's up, Raider Night? What's going on? Keep advantage. The game not good as the first time HC. was bad at it. I think the problem with AP is he just didn't have enough experience being around the coaching staff, to be honest with you. I think he's going to be fine when it comes to that. You guys feel different on that? Even Pete could do it.
To be honest, I don't know about Jake, but I could barely hear you.
I could barely hear him too. That was messed up, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, something's wrong with your mic, Jeff. Check. But I honestly, we didn't hear what you said. We're just going faint.
I heard a couple of words, but I wasn't completely sure.
How about now?
Yeah, we can hear it now.
Hello.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So regarding Raider Knight's question or comment, what do you guys think about him with the clock management?
I'll go first.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think that him being so close to Mike McDonald, I mean, I don't think that's gonna be too hard. Now would he maybe make a mistake here and there? Probably, but I'm not like overly worried about it. Certain things like that, like clock management, game management, they're gonna be mistakes. They're gonna be growing pains, and he said it too. There's gonna be some learning to do. So just expect that. And this is why I go back again and say we got to exercise patience. This season is not gonna look pretty. It's still gonna look kind of bad. It's gonna look better than what it was before as far as game performance. That doesn't, and I'm not saying that's going to translate into wins. I'm saying that we're going to look better on the field, but there's going to be mistakes. We're going to see some shit like that happen where it's like, fuck, we could have almost won the game. But you got to remember, this dude is still technically a first-time head coach. So there's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some mistakes. You just got to roll with it, and not be overly critical about it and just be like, man, like, fuck, what the fuck is this guy thinking? Do I think he would be better than AP? I think he would be better the AP because Kubiak again is just so close to what's going on the field. So and then he has to dial up certain plays for certain scenarios that happen, and so these are like scenarios from timeouts. When you're the linebacker coach, you're not worried about that too much. You're just worried about like your scheming and all that. With an offensive coordinator, it's like, okay, cool. What are we going to dial up on this play? What are we going to go ahead and dial up on if they do this? We're going to go ahead and call a timeout to see what they're, to show us what they're scheming. What are we going to go ahead and kind of run from that? So there are different things that he's probably used to, but now he's actually going to be like, oh, okay, bro, it's on you now to call it. But if he messes up here and there, it's just part of the thing. So,
does my mic sound even better now?
I can hear you better, yeah.
Okay. I think I realized what the problem was now. It just kind of
did it like default to a different one?
Yeah, because I can't tell you yet. You'll have to see. I think I knew head coaches. Well, are you a Raider fan, Logan? Because it's Klint Kubiak. If you're not, I don't know who you're talking about.
If he's on my channel, bro, look at the thumbnail.
Kubiak has learned from the best coaches, his father, Gary. True. And that's why I say I think he'll be better at it than AP because he's got more time and experience around coaches. And like I said, even Pete Carroll last year was screwing it up too. So,
yeah.
What's up, Edgar?
At least Kubiak has the excuse that he's new. That he's new.
I still think he'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm not overly worried about it.
So, what did you think about the presser though, Nate? Did you watch the whole thing?
I didn't watch the whole thing. I was at work when it was happening. I only watched it a little bit. But from everything that I heard, it seemed like he's has his head on straight. He knows exactly like the plan of what he wants to do. I heard the question if he has a short list of who he wants to bring over as coaches. He said he does. Obviously, he didn't give any specific names, but I think that's the biggest thing from here on forward is going to be who does he bring in as his offensive coordinator? Who does he bring in as his defensive coordinator? And how does he build out the rest of his staff? Behind his offensive genius, I think we have to get somebody on the defensive side of the ball that can be just as good as him. Well, I mean, I don't know if there is anybody as good as him off defensively, but it's just going to be really interesting to see who he brings over defensively and the connections that he has throughout the league and where they come from and so on.
Yeah. What's up, D1 Jackson? What's going on, man? Welcome in. What's up, Elias? We are going to be better next year, hopefully. That was going to be the thing too. The next one is OC and DC, and look who's here. I'm going to add him to the stage. This is Leo. Leo, what's up? What's going on? Oh, went away. I brought up. So it makes it feel like he's on the show today.
Wow. Come on.
That's why, because my second camera, the mic was on it. I thought I didn't shut it off. That's why it was work. You can only hear me on that mic over there, so I had to shut it off. So it's a Leo's here in spirit with us. We watching. I know Jay, you were in the chat during the Severe and 805 show, and I know they asked the question, and I was thinking the same thing too when I was doing the banners for this. Which you think is the most important at this point? Is it OC or a DC? Personally, I think a DC is the priority right now because by default we've already got the OC with Kubiak there. So now, if we look at DC, who do you think are the odds-on favorite for that? I know there's teams kicked around, but
yeah, if I had to put an odds-on favorite, it's probably going to be Carl Scott. He's probably going to most likely get the nod if he's able to go ahead and poach him from Seattle. and I think he's the DB coach over for the Seahawks currently. And if it's not him, um, possibly Aiden or Gerard could be a possibility as well. I know everybody likes Jim Schwartz. The thing with Jim Schwartz that right now he has to deal with the Browns and his coaching rights, right? And he's already asked to be released from his coaching rights. I don't think they're going to go ahead and necessarily do it, but that's kind of where they're at. He resigned over a week ago, so he's not in the building anymore. He doesn't want to go back, but for whatever reason, Browns want to go ahead and not let him go out to the market. So we have to kind of figure that part out. And if somebody wants to go ahead and hire him, that's going to require some type of compensation, whether it's monetary or whether it's draft capital. And obviously, in the situation when it's not ideal for us to go ahead and give up draft capital for even though it's Jim Schwartz still. E.G. Rivera is another one that's the name of this that's been also floated around. We'll see what happens, but it probably is going to be Carl Scott. If for whatever reason they're able to go ahead and kind of poach him away, and it's just the familiarity with having a guy like that at disposal. Everybody he would come from the Mike McDonald tree that just won the Super Bowl, so you have that, or the current defensive coordinator for the Seahawks. That could be another possibility as well. So yeah, there's some names to kind of look out for, but it'd be great if we get Shorts in the building. I mean, we'll have something for sure.
It's just that there's a lot to work out for that to happen, and I know that's the one because I see it in the chats all the time. People are calling for that name, but again, there's so much involved in that. Just real quick, Elias and Logan, I see both your questions. We are going to address those. That is part of what we're going to discuss tonight, so we will get to that. But like Rita said here, if Browns don't want to burn their bridges too, they should just release the rights. To be honest with you, but I don't see that.
Rorschach.
That's his Instagram profile pic.
Shout out to Rorschach, bro. Damn, that legal picture looks scary, like a supervillain, like Lex Luthor. Oh man, that's cold-blooded.
And right tonight, I did see the video. Actually, I was going to play that too. That's one of the things I was going to pull up on screen.
That's a ghetto ass Lex Luthor, bro.
For real.
Like that, he's got like that comic book villain raised eyebrow look.
That's that profile, dog.
Yeah, let me just play this now. I'll just bring this up real quick. I don't know if you guys saw this or not today, but
I haven't, honestly.
I saw part of it. Go ahead.
Look at the heaviest set coach with the gray beard. That's the offensive line coach that should be coming with him too.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
Again, that's a maybe. That's a maybe.
Yeah, like I said, if they can pull that off, then that'll be nice.
Yeah, it's John Benton. What's the other guy's name? The quarterback's coach. Andrew Janoko. Janoko might be the guy that could possibly be the offensive coordinator. They obviously Kubiak. He knows Kubiak. He knows what he runs. I think Janoko's been following him everywhere. So the question is would he go ahead and do it one more time and come to Las Vegas? Obviously, he'll be here for a minute until he gets his own gig or whatever. So that would be cool. I wouldn't be mad at that. I'm more worried, honestly. It's crazy. for me to say that I'm more concerned about like the offensive line coach as opposed to like the offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah,
Because we know
1,000%.
we know what time it is, and whoever even he brings in as coordinator is just gonna go ahead and help Kubiak. Like you said, like I just need the extra help, the extra preparation, bounce off ideas, yada yada. But it's an offensive line coach with our line being so bad last year. I'm like, let's get this one right. Let's get some like competent coaches in the building. So John Benton, who you just played, is one. Stoutland from the Eagles, the offensive line coach from there, just quit on the Eagles probably like a week ago too. So
Yeah.
he's actually out there now. The question is, will he actually want to go ahead and coach? I think the word out on the street is that he might take this year off and probably see about maybe coaching in 27 again. But that would be a good one too. And we know what the Eagles were able to do like 2 years ago. So
His eyebrows are stressing him out. What's up, Darren? This is all news, but I loved how Kubiak talked about the old Raiders and that Raider attitude. We need that attitude back. It was very relaxed up there. I will say that.
Very.
Very relaxed. It looked like a normal press conference. You know, like the you go back to the McDaniel one. That was just such an uncomfortable watching that presser. You know.
It was a little bit awkward, I remember, because he asked Mark Davis asked him if whether it was a fumble or not.
Oh yeah.
Like fuck, nah, you gotta you straight up address the elephant in the room. You know, it's like,
well, and I agree with you, Jay. As far as the most important thing, I think is also the offensive line coach that's going to come in here because of how pitiful it was last year. You know, are we completely void of talent on the offensive line? I don't really think so. It's just the coaching was just so awful last year. So I think we should see a change in that as soon as they start practicing, you know, and they start getting an semblance of, you know, how the pecking order is going to go for those front five. So,
yeah. I mean, it
is the guy from Seattle, Bennett. That's who I'm hoping.
I'll take either one. To be honest with you, I'm not really mad at if it's Benton, great. If it's Stoutland, great. Like I think we win either way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's crazy to think like these guys actually were like watching film after hours after Brendan Carroll left. It's like crazy, you know, and like it's just a level like there's levels to this thing. And that's like the bottom of the barrel. So it's like, all right, cool. Let's try to get our guy. Let at least get a halfway decent guy in here. You know, we'll take that. But if we can get Benton, obviously, you know what, they're able to go ahead and do. And then, you know, honestly, their line wasn't like wow. It wasn't a wow factor. It wasn't like it was good, but it wasn't great. You know, but they are able to go ahead and be efficient. And that's the important part. Now, if we're able to go ahead and get some good talent in here, you never know. You never know. And we still have Caleb Rogers. We have Charles Grant in the building as well. DJ Glaze, and that's a question we can go ahead and kind of address as well. Whether he stays at right tackle or he gets moved to guard. How much of that is coaching? How much of that is actually, you know, him just regressing? You know, I think it's a combination of both. I think it could be fixed. I think this is the time where you fix it right now. You have that ability, and either way, either you plug him back in, right tackle. You think you move him to guard, or you put him as def. And if you get somebody in free agency, you know, you address that tackle. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure.
How long was Stoutland in Philly for? Do you know how long he was there?
Fuck, like 15 years. I don't know. It's
something like that.
It's been there for a long time. Okay.
Oh yeah. I think he just wanted to move on. Let me 2013. So over 12 years.
Yeah.
12 years, yeah. That's
Yeah,
a long time.
It's a long time in one spot. Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. So Ray Knight asked, "Do you guys think all the players will buy into Kubiak? Look like only some offensive players were at the presser." Um, I think the biggest one that was missing on the offense, I think, was Brock. I'm surprised he wasn't there, but I'm glad
Brock
to see
was
Jet was
Brock
there.
wasn't at the thing, but he was in the building.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
because
excited because I know how much he supposedly wanted the Saints to grab him that year in the draft. So he's been wanting to coach this kid for a while. So now obviously here's his chance. I'm hoping big things for him, provided we get the right quarterback and the offensive line fixed, then we're good. You
yeah,
know, I'm psyched for what he can do with Genty too. To be honest with you,
Yeah, me too.
I think
yeah,
they're gonna win. I can't see them not. You know, they haven't had that. I think he's going to be more of a disciplinarian than some people think he's going to be because he doesn't look like it. Like he was saying all the right things on Tuesday. That
yeah,
makes you want to get on board with him and like, hey, let's run this. Let's get going. You know,
yeah. He's definitely more serious. He
it's up to
I,
Mark.
shout out to Rundown. He did like kind of like a resume of him, and there was some footage that he played, and he's still lively, but you're not gonna see like him wrestling around with like an offensive line. It's like he's gonna be this.
Your mic's cutting out.
Oh shit! Hold on. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah,
me
you can.
now? Okay. I said, he's more serious, and it might happen where you're not. Well, you're not gonna see him wrestling around with like an offensive lineman, and
Yeah, that's you and I
he's
said
gonna
that
be
the other day too.
yeah,
We
he's
were
gonna be
talking about
conducting
that.
business out there, and that's what you want. We want somebody who's about football, then about winning and preparation, real preparation, not just fucking practice, real preparation to the game, and executing at a high level. So, I'm all for it. Whatever that looks like, let's go, bro.
Let's see, Rorschach. Last year's presser was a big concern for him because Pete said, yeah, and that's the good thing because he didn't come out and put any onus on the team as far as saying, oh, we're going to win this. We're going to. It's like he's
Yeah,
just going to win it. He's going to evaluate everybody, which is what Pete should have said last year too. Not saying, oh, I'm here to win games. And that went over like a fine church. Let's see. Yeah, Brock was having coffee with Max. I'm excited about actually seeing 12 and 13 personnel.
Yes.
I mean, you saw bits of it in the play in the Super Bowl. I mean, he was getting the tight end involved big time.
yeah,
Oh, and the reason Leo was a pitcher is because he's not here tonight, so I just figured I'd play a little fun thing and put my extra camera on my phone and just file.
wow.
Arnie does have a couple questions here. Let's see what he's got. Which draft class in the last 4 years was the best? Was last year the worst due to not playing rookies? Nate, I'll let you hit that one.
Which draft class in the last 4 years was the best? Was last year the worst due to not playing rookies? That's kind of tough. I think the most impactful one was the Brock Bowers year with Bowers and JPJ and Glaze. Just because those were 3 automatic starters on our team in general. So to do that, I feel like that was probably our best in the past 4 years. I don't think last year was the worst because, again, like you said, it's they didn't play. Like a lot of them didn't play and didn't play meaningful minutes until the end of the season, really. So we don't really know what exactly we have. Obviously, we know what we have in Genty, and he's of course an all-world talent. But guys that didn't really get to play, like Besh and the 2 offensive linemen that came in and played well at the end, like I think that's going to be a really good building block for the future of what we can expect to move forward with Spytech drafts. Is slowly building. Hopefully, we see a lot more results quicker than we did this past season. But I think that he has the right mindset of making sure that we're building for the future.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Um, yeah, I think that the Brock Bowers were JD5 uh, was in, and Caleb was probably the best draft in recent time.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I agree completely with that. I mean, you hit on your first three picks, 3 rounds straight there. And I mean, granted, yeah, they kind of fell off this year. 2 out of the 3, one because of injury, and 2 because he just wasn't getting coached right. I think
Mm-hmm.
Brock is still Brock, even though we lost him a good chunk of the season because of injuries. But when he was there, he showed
Yeah.
up, showed out.
Yeah.
But, this is another name that keeps popping up now too. But didn't he just go somewhere? Did somebody just hire him? I thought Musgrave.
Musgrave is with the Jets, I believe.
Yeah, right. He just.
Hmm.
I thought I saw that because he sent me something earlier today too about.
Oh yeah. So I think I know what he sent you, but I don't. Why I honestly don't know, but I assume because it's kind of out there in social media that supposedly one of the landing spots aside from us for our old friend Derek Carr would be the Jets, and a
Oh,
reunion with
right.
Musgrave uh, could
That's what
possibly
it was.
happen. Is that the one?
No, he sent me something different, but I did read about that too. I did see something come up today
Yeah,
on his.
I'm like, good. Take him.
Yeah,
Take
just
him.
get him away from here so people stop talking.
I'm good on that. I'm good. Let them go ahead and waste money and waste draft capital on Derek Carr. Go ahead, please do it.
Let's see.
I'm
All was coaching, and more coaching. Yeah, true. Nobody's gonna disagree with that one. What's up, Trig? What's up? Let's see, John. I'd be real. I thought Bowers went to pack Max's stuff, send him out the door when Kubiak said, "Where's Bowers?" Let's see. Finally got our first choice at head coach. Draft Mendoza, Mesidor, Surratt. Stay patient, stay calm, let Kubiak cook. I've been seeing a lot of that, people in their mock drafts. If you watch any mock drafts that come up on Facebook or any other socials, that people are taking Mendoza. They're going for the center, Cogden from Indiana. And I see them grabbing both wide receivers from Indiana. It's like, we're going to be the Vegas Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Just because it worked well in college, it doesn't necessarily going to translate over to the NFL either. It's like you're going to bring half the team, half their offense over here, basically, is what they're looking at. It's like, damn.
To be fair, I would take the center though. He's really fucking good.
Yeah, that I would. I won't. No, not at all. So, I mean, as far as OC and DC, like we all said, I think the DC one is the most important one at this point right now.
Yeah, I agree.
And basically, what do you think this does for the offense itself? Like, who do you expect to see shine that's on this roster right now, outside of the 2 guys that we always talk about, and that being Genti and Bowers? Who do you think could also step up in this system that he's going to come in here and run? Nate, you can go first on that one.
Honestly, in my opinion, I think it's the inclusion. If you watch a lot of Seattle Seahawks football, is the inclusion of every single tight end in their system. That was Arroyo, Barner. Damn, I'm forgetting somebody pretty massive there, but like all of their tight ends had quality reps and receptions. You seen Barner have basically what felt like the only touchdown of the game in the Super Bowl, but it's the fact that we have 2 really great, talented tight ends, and now we're gonna finally, hopefully, see the full potential of Michael Mayer. I think that it's gonna be. We've been saying it this whole time since Josh McDaniels that he's gonna run more 12 personnel, more 13 personnel, get both tight ends out there, but we haven't really seen it. Albeit it's been injuries of either tight end, but I think now headed into this year, watching what Klint Kubiak does with that personnel, and I think that I think that this is going to be the breakout season for Michael Mayer, and I'm excited for that for him. Honestly,
Double Lewis. That's
Yeah.
LV rated 10. Just everybody, real quick here. Make sure you guys get over to all the channels. If you're not subbed on LV rated 10, make sure you hit him up for sure. Then you got Jay from Just Raiders Baby. Then you got Cheeto Linus, and then myself, 401 Rated Jeff. So make sure you spread the love between all four. We're streaming on all our channels. So hit that sub, hit the thumbs up, hit the notification, all that happy stuff.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
Jay, what do you think on that? As far as like, who do you think has a chance to step up a bit based on who's on this roster right now? Minus those two.
I probably would have to go with Mike Mayer. You can possibly also get that from Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker's also, he's technically our wide receiver one, right, from the room wise.
Right.
But you probably see him either number 2 or number 3, depending how this offseason goes, right? But it's just another weapon. And, you have, guys like Raheed Shaheed who are kind of similar, but you'll have Trey Tucker out there. I think Trey Tucker will be utilized to his strength. I think all these guys are finally going to be utilized to their strength. So Mike Mayer, Bowers, when they're actually out there together, and again, like Nate said, you don't see them often together, and it's either because of injury or these just guys didn't scheme it up correctly. Finally, I think we'll have some of that where we'll see the 12%. We'll see the both guys out there and utilized correctly. I'm all for it, but yeah, it could definitely be Big Mike. Trey could do it on the offensive line. I think probably maybe JPJ is the only name that I see there. Caleb Rogers would probably be a guy to look out for. Again, it's just if they hire the right offensive line coach, we're probably gonna see a different line. Because we're gonna see some new faces, but the current guys out there, you're gonna see some good progression.
Leo clearance special by Mendoza jersey. Get free Wilson Smith or AOC jersey today. Let's see. He says Lau and Tonka are going to have a breakout season on defense.
I like that idea.
I do too. I really like what Jonah Lau did last season. He came on. He came on as the season went on. So I'm impressed with what I saw from him. Let's see. Yeah. Also, I think Raiders should draft the number 1 wide receiver from Indiana. See, that's it's the same thing still. I guess we can just jump right into this part then. We kind of covered this, the Bowers and Genty impact. I think we kind of got an idea on how much he's gonna use both of those guys. He's gonna cook with them. He's excited to get a hold of Genty, and he's obviously ecstatic that he's gonna get to coach Brock Bowers. The sky's the limit on both of these guys next year, provided we get that O-line fixed. We do need another running back, though. We definitely need a change of pace back there.
Yeah.
So I want to give him a breather because right now we got 3 guys in the room. That's Genty, Collier, and Lave, and that's it right now. So we definitely need that. So, Jay, I'm going to turn it over to you here on the latest Maxx Crosby rumor. Basically what you discussed before we started tonight. So this is going to address one of those questions earlier about Maxx. So go ahead.
And I'm going to go ahead and put this up, and I'll read it if you want to go ahead and add it to the thing. So there's the latest Maxx Crosby rumor to go ahead and come out. Again, a story that hit up today, basically stating that there's some relationship ending that has to happen now between Maxx Crosby, Tom Brady, and Alex Guerrero, which I believe he's like the Raiders wellness, strength and wellness coach, something like that. He has like kind of a little bit of a weird title, but this report, this is something that Albert Breer posted as well. They kind of alludes to basically what happened towards the final two games or the final couple games of the season where they shut down Max. And again, this is from Albert Breer. I quote: "There's a lot of mending that needs to be going on if the Raiders are going to go ahead. The Raiders are going to hang on to Maxx Crosby." Breer said, "It all goes all the way to the top of the organization with Tom Brady and Alex Guerrero. The way that communication happened with the injury in December left mark. This is a guy incredibly loyal to the Raiders organization, wanted to spend his entire career there, and is loyal to Mark Davis as well. Now he feels betrayed, and I think this is where this is. I think that there is this feeling. I'm 20 years old. They didn't do right by me, so it's not time for me to find a way to win." Guerrero, Brady's longtime trainer, joined the former Patriots quarterback in Vegas as there you go, wellness coordinator. Um, and he's partially responsible for Crosby wanting a fresh start somewhere else. Breer. And again, it's a quote saying he was part of the communicating. He was part of communicating the Raiders' decision, why they made the decision to shut him down in December, which really angered Max. I believe the day was the 23rd of December when they had some scans done, and the Raiders basically told them after the scans, "We're going to go shut you down for the season." So it says Max had suspicion that they were going to go ahead and do it to tank as well because we're on the cusp of walking in the number one pick. But the communication got fouled up. A lot of people in that building report to Alex Guerrero. Now Alex is seen as the eyes and ears of Tom Brady internally, so there's some fence mending that would have to happen there. So basically, to me, what this is saying, and again, you guys, everybody can form their own opinion, but he is saying because the way that the Raiders shut Maxx Crosby down for the last few games of the season, this is why Max wants out. And again, even Breer says a guy that's loyal to Mark Davis, loyal to the organization, because of them shutting him down, he feels betrayed, and that's why he wants out. I don't know, but when I hear that, to me, I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, are you really saying that he's so upset, he's so pissed off, he's so butthurt because they shut him down 2 games before the season ended, that now he's going to go ahead and request a trade? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, to be honest with you. And mind you, this is not the first time that Maxx Crosby gets shut down early. This happened the year prior too. And Max was still here. So this is kind of a reach. I know there's more specifics that they have somebody specific that it's a tribute to, but again, also being attached to Tom Brady. There might be some possible smoke, and we know that Max was pissed when he did get the news. So there might be a little bit truth to that, but to the point where he wants to up and leave, that for that to be the reason, that's a little bit of a stretch to me. I don't know. I would feel more that it's that, and also trying to rebuild would be another possible factor. But just for that alone, I think that's a little bit of a hard stretch. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Right.
I think the context that you have to also look at is who is the reporting. It's from NBC Sports Boston, and if you see at the bottom here, if Crosby pushes for a trade, the Patriots would be a near perfect fit for the 5-time Pro Bowler coming off an AFC championship. I think this is propaganda wanting to get Maxx Crosby, trying to push some kind of narrative that Maxx Crosby wants out because they had similar situations with Alex Guerrero in the Patriots building, and they understand that Guerrero and Brady aren't, kind of willing to get off of their own. They do their own regimen, and that's not always best for the team aspect. But I think as an owner, it's a lot different than the situation that happened over in New England. Um, this is a complete reach to me. It's kind of going based off of what Jay Glazer had said, because Max was upset that he got shut down, and then of course, after that he's going to be upset and confide in Jay Glazer or whoever it had been, and then they just kind of take the narrative from there. But he's gone on multiple times and multiple shows saying that, as of recently, as of today, saying that he doesn't want to leave the Raiders. So to me, that it's not anything other than, it's off season. It's it's something to talk about after the Super Bowl. There's not a lot of news, and and Maxx Crosby has been the number one target for fantasy trade rumors for the past 3 seasons. So that's what I really think it is.
I took it down. Are you done with that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
See,
I'm sure.
I've been saying don't trade Max unless he wants out. But if we could trade him straight for a top 8 corner, D end, OT, I would feel better than the 2 number 1 picks, bird in the hand worth 2 in the bush. Just real quick before we get further into the Max, I looked up Alex Guerrero. He's under the administration tab on the Raiders. So this past season was his first season as the wellness coordinator for the Raiders. So in his current role, he oversees several departments to ensure and enhance the health and well-being of players, coaches, and staff. He spent 30 years working with numerous professional and world-class athletes and has served as a consultant for NFL and collegiate teams. Previously, he had a successful private practice focusing on sports injury, rehab, performance enhancement, and nutrition. So, I mean, the guy's definitely been around a long time in that profession. So, I mean, it's not like he's some second-year guy out of college working for the team. So, this is a guy with a lot of experience that knows right from wrong when it comes to players' health and what's probably best for the player. Because you got to remember, players don't want to hear that they need to be sad. So I get why Max is. And totally makes sense. And we all know the type of character that Max is. And the last thing he wants to be told is, no, you can't play no more. You know? But when they're looking out, you got to remember, these players are a monetary investment for the team. So what good is he if he keeps playing, injures it even more, and then he's out for games going into next season? So the smart thing was to shut him down. Well, obviously Max didn't like that. But it's like you got to look at long term. I mean, look at some of these guys that played in the 60s and 70s and even into the 80s that are still alive now. Some of them barely even walk. They didn't have any of this shit back then. So, and that's what they're trying to prevent. I mean, the NFL's still going through lawsuits over this shit with, some of these injuries from these guys.
Yeah.
Well, let's cover this now. Go ahead, Jay.
I was going to say that you're 100% right. And it's a job of the GM and also the coach to go ahead and protect the player from themselves. And Maxx Crosby, let him have his way, he would be out there with one fucking leg. That's just the truth of it. So Spytek's job is to think about the team long term, right? The coach's job is to think about the team, but on a very near future type of term. So season by season, that's the way they're thinking. And the player is thinking in the moment. Now, what I can do to better the team? How I need to go out and get 3 sacks, or I need to be impactful. I need to try to get to the quarterback as much as I can. Yada yada yada. I need to make sure my my defense is on point and the guys on that are with me on the line, they need to be good. So it's shit like that. That's just how the tree goes, right? So this is a decision that Spytek had to do, and for what? I mean, honestly, what was 2 more games, 2 more meaningless games? What was that going to do for the team? Nothing but hurt. I mean, at the time, it's going to hurt us, and I'm not the whole tank thing, but to be real, he would have went down. He could have really injured himself further. Prime example, Christian Wilkins. But he could have hurt himself further. He could have been now, or rehab would have been much, much longer, and it would have been it could have been a bad deal. Two, it would have hurt us on we probably would have lost out the number one draft pick, and
Yep.
you can now
Oh yeah.
kind of forget about Clint Kubiak. So there's a trickle effect that happens there too.
Right.
Realistically, I don't even see Clint Kubiak here if we didn't have the number one pick alone, on top of the cap space. But the real attractive incentive is really also that number one pick. So if we don't have that, I don't think Kubiak's here.
What's up, IAG? Chiefs just hired DeMarco Murray. Well, let's address this then. So, I mean, you two know, and everybody in here pretty much, unless they're new, know my take on the whole Max thing. So, knowing what you know now, if this is the case, if what you just read off, Jay, that report is for real, and I guess Josh said he watched, I guess Max did his podcast today or whatever, and he said he doesn't look happy. It looks like he's pissed off. Like, you know, do you guys still feel the same that Max is a Raider for life, or if a team calls, are you listening? Are you seriously considering it? We'll start with you, Jay, on that. Where were you sitting with all this now?
So shout out to John. I watched the podcast today. I kind of had to like fast forward to like because I got in there when it was just kind of about to end, or it was on the end, so I rewinded it back and kind of listened throughout to see if I heard him address the rumors again. He didn't, but it's also he probably could just be, he looked fine to me, but it could be also that he's just annoyed he has to address these fucking rumors and they're going on and you're getting all this shit. Whether you're talking or not, I'm pretty sure he's seeing it. You cannot not see it. If you have a guy like him, I'm pretty sure he has like a football algorithm and sports algorithm. I'm pretty sure he's popping up and he's seeing all this shit come out. Same thing on Twitter. So this is coming up, and you can't help not to look at it. So I think that's kind of what it's stemming from there. Do I think Max is a Raider for life? I do think he's gonna be here. If push comes to, I feel that he's gonna be here. Now this is the thing. You never know what could happen, and that's why I keep saying out there. My thing is, if it does happen, and like I said earlier, I was on the show with Primos and Will. Shout out to them. I said that if there's something that actually quietly, won't know about it until it actually happens. So like a surprise thing, kind of like
Your mic.
thing. Hold on.
You're good now. But yeah, it keeps fading in and out every now and then.
Okay. It might be the thing. I don't know. So I said if something happens with Max, it'll happen like suddenly, and we won't hear about it. Just kind of like the Christian Wilkins thing where he got released, and we won't know about it. It'll happen suddenly, and Spytek will take the blame. But it'll be because Max wanted to, or Max signed off on it, and that's a big if, right? And because obviously Max wants to go ahead and save face with us, and that's cool. I get it, and I'm pretty sure Spytek wouldn't mind being the villain in this story. That's if it does happen. Now, this is a thing with a trade like that. We're not going to get as much as people think. We're not going to. I saw Arnie post like, oh, I can't wait to see what Spytek's going to do with 3 first rounders. We're not going to get 3 first rounders. For Max, we'll probably get a first round pick for sure, and a second. And I think that's kind of the way it goes. You maybe a little compensation. Maybe you can go ahead and fleece a third. Maybe if on the high end, a first and 2 seconds. But if you really fleece somebody, you could possibly get the 2 first. But I think that's as much as you get. Realistically, and kind of what I've been seeing out there, it's realistically like first and a second, the going rate for Max. Like I said, I think yesterday on your Notorious show, put that out there as well. So I don't know. I just think it's not gonna. Is it gonna fast track our rebuild? Yes, it will. Not a whole lot, but it will, because now you can get that. You'll have an extra first round pick for this year. You should ask for one this year. That'll be stupid if we get one from like next year. But you should have one for this year and a second for this year. We can do something with that. But again, you still also have to hit on those picks, and that's something that people have to go ahead and remember. Not necessarily where you're going to go ahead and hit on those picks. If you hit on one, great. If you hit on both, you just lucked out. But you can also like strike out completely. So you have that risk as well. So it's a risk versus reward type of scenario. I would like to see Maxx here. I feel that he has worked and he deserves to be here when we start really winning again. And I know about the whole timeline thing, but that is the fan in me, because I feel that he loves being here. He loves being a Raider. He loves being part of Raider Nation. And man, when you have guys like that in the building, you want them to see what they you want them to have what they always wanted. So that's my take.
Well, what happened at the Super Bowl with Puka? What did he do? Did I miss something?
No, he just talks a lot. That's why. He said that the Rams fans don't really have there's not a big following in LA for Rams fans. Like, they don't have full home advantage.
I could have told him that.
I know.
He's not lying.
So then a lot of people took it the wrong way, because he was on a podcast with Fred Warner, Fred Warner said like, yeah, we have an extra home game because in LA, when they play in LA, it's all Ninered out. So
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just Nate, I'm going to have you answer the same question on Max, but I just want to hit Arnie's thing that he mentioned here. This one here, he goes, look in your crystal ball in 5 years. Who is still on our team? Max, Genty Bowers, Kubiak, or Spytek? I don't think Max is here, which is why I'm behind trading for him now, because he's not going to be here long term. Like he's not going to be here when the rebuild is complete and we start winning. It's going to be past his prime already. I mean, the time to get something for him is now. So I think all those other guys will still be here, though.
But the thing, Jeff, you make it seem like this guy's like almost 40 years old. He's not.
Exactly.
He's going to be 29 this year.
2 years in a row now, they shut him down early because of injuries. 2
Yeah,
years.
but we were what? First, the year prior to this one, we were 4-13, or we're heading on that path of 4-13. We were on two win games, at that point. So it's, I don't know. I feel that he will be here. I think I can agree with you, because, and I know what you said before. I can agree with you, like the effectiveness of him being here, because he'll be a little bit older, probably around like early 30s, 31, maybe 32. Then I can see that, but he'll probably, if he doesn't get traded, bro, honestly, he's not going anywhere. He's not. So it's either happens now or it doesn't happen.
Well, I should say it's got to be this year. This is the year you're going to get the most for him. Arnie says, other than Garrett, is Crosby really the second best defensive end in the league? I don't even think he's in the top 5 right now.
To me, he's 4th, probably.
That's even putting him a little high. I mean, I'm not saying he's not good, but there's still some that are better than him right now. And some of them are even younger.
Myles Garrett, for sure.
Yeah.
TJ Watt, Micah, and then Max.
You don't think there's anyone else better than it? Yeah, so that puts him 4. Okay.
Yeah, 4.
What about what's his name from
Aiden Hutchinson? No. Nick Bosa gets hurt too much.
So that would be ahead of him.
Nick Bosa gets hurt way too much.
No, Hutchinson. Bosa.
Hutchinson, no.
That's it.
Maybe Will Anderson. You can maybe convince me of Will Anderson, but as of right now, I still take Maxx.
All right, so your take on the whole Maxx thing then, Nate? Where are you sitting with that now?
Yeah, to me, I think that I'm right with Jay on the value that we could possibly get back if we do trade Maxx, which is a first for sure, and then maybe a second plus. But I think if that's the return you get, that he's more valuable to us than those picks are, because of the influence that he has as a Raider in the community, just in total. Rather than a first and a second that could possibly turn into Maxx Crosby. I think that to me, I don't see them trading Maxx Crosby. And to also kind of hit on Arnie's question earlier that you were pertaining to right now on the crystal ball of 5 years, I think he is a Raider in 5 years. I think that this is the right direction with Klint Kubiak. And that, timelines change. They fluctuate. Like, no one thought that the Bears timeline would be this quick. No one thought that the Commanders timeline would be this quick either. Like, timelines change so very quickly. So it's not the fact that I don't think that he fits our timeline. I think that we're going to have to try and fit his, in my opinion. And that's what we're doing now by hiring Klint Kubiak, getting the first overall by shutting him down. Although, of course, it makes this whole trade rumors spark. But I think we're in the right direction. And I think Maxx he's going to be rated for life. He said it multiple times that he wants to be a Kobe Bryant type guy where he brings the value to a franchise with winning and with, him as a personal, like as a human being. Like when you think of the Lakers and Los Angeles, you think of Kobe Bryant. And that's what Maxx Crosby has said that he wants to do with Las Vegas and the Raiders. And I think as of right now, if you ask a younger Raiders fan out on the street, they're going to ask, who do you think of when you say the Raiders? They're going to say Maxx Crosby. And I think that gives us just a value that we don't really have on our team as of right now. Of course, we're going to have Brock Bowers and Genty, but those are still future assets that haven't really made them the name that Maxx Crosby has for himself as of right now.
Yeah. I don't think it's so much the time, like we have to fit his timeline. This fan base is just dead tired of us having shitty years after shitty years after shitty years. It's just getting worse and worse. I'm like, they had to do something. Mm-hmm. I'm like, going back to the presser when Kubiak was asked about the fan base and getting people back into the stadium, it's like he said, look, just because I'm here, I don't expect you to go ahead and trust me. That's going to be earned on what we do, not what we say. And that speaks volumes just from what he said right there. It's just like, I'm not going to try to constantly prove to you that you need to come and watch us. You need to be a fan. You need to be a part of the nation. It's just like the product on the field is what's going to go ahead and resonate, So I like that, man.
So you don't think Mike is better than him right now? Or are you saying that just because Mike is out with the injury? I mean, he tore his ACL, right? But when he was playing, he was definitely better than Maxx. I'm sorry. Let's see. Robin and Maxx, Batman's reduction jump.
Exactly. And he hasn't had a good one since Yannick Ngakoue. And Yannick Ngakoue he was older at the time too. So he's never really even had a Robin to his Batman.
See, saying Maxx is number 2, that's just you're just being a Raider fan on that one. I mean, you got to look at who else is out there. There are guys that are better than Maxx. There's no two ways about it. You know, I mean, Nate named them off too. So Max is definitely not overall number 2. So he's top 5 or top 4, as Nate says. You know. Um, so I got this from John. I'm going to put this up and play this. This was, I guess, from his podcast today.
Mm-hmm.
He's a well-established coach. You know, obviously, the success he's had, you know, it runs in the family as well. You know, he's a kid that grew up, you know, watching his dad had a lot of success as an NFL coach. Some of those teams are some of my favorite teams to watch with J.J. Watt and Arian Foster back in the day. Dope ass teams. But yeah, he's got a great lineage of people that he's been around. He's, you know, he runs a great system, and you know, has had a lot of success, you know, being a coordinator. You've seen what he's done for Sam Darnold. He's maxed out. I wouldn't say maxed out, but he's brought the best out of a lot of his players. Like we talked about, like getting, you know, putting players in positions to, you know, max out is their full potential. And I think he does a good job of that. So, yeah, you know, it's you got to give him the credit, man. You know, nowadays in the league, there's a lot of, you know, there's always trends and things that are going on throughout. Back in the day, I feel like it was, you need the old school veteran coach, and you know, he's got to have the experience and do it this way. And now it's like kind of moving towards the Sean McVay, Liam Cohen, Kyle Shanahan, the younger, offensive minded, you know, kind of the Mike McDaniel. He's a well-established coach.
So I mean, and he's right too. I mean, back in the day, that's what it was. They wanted the coaches that had the experience, you know, the ones that have been around for a long time, and you know, can instill their old school thinking and thought. You know, plus a lot of those coaches back then were hard asses too. That was like old school coaching. You know, these guys now, they're some of them are just a matter of a few years older than some of the guys that are still playing. You know, so I'm still on the time is now if we're gonna do this. You know what? And again, if they're saying he needs to apologize or whatever, that was the first when you mentioned it tonight. That was the first time I heard of that. So that was kind of interesting to see. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know they need to apologize. It just says there's some fence mending that need to be there, but it's just funny how it just progresses. Like now it's like Maxx Crosby. You know, before it was like Maxx Crosby doesn't want to do anything with the Raiders. He'd rather retire than play for us. And yeah, he's still in the building, rocking the drip, and you know, doing interviews there. And he just met with Kubiak. You know, on Tuesday they had coffee and chopped it up. So it's like, well, I don't know what more that this dude has to do to make it clear that he wants to stay here and wants to be here. Like, is he frustrated? Fuck yes. Like, who the fuck wouldn't? I would be. I'd be like, fuck, man. I've been here forever and a day, and we still haven't won. We only went to the playoffs once when I've been here. You know, I would be fucking pissed. I would be frustrated too. I'd be pissed. I would be pissed, and then get shut down. Yeah, I would be pissed. Would I say butthurt? You know, I don't know. I'd probably have feelings about it. I probably wouldn't be happy about it, but at the end of the day, it's like, look, he knows he just said what Kubiak is all about, what he's done. He knows that history. So it's like, okay, cool. Now we got a dude. He's most likely going to be here for at least 3 years. So now I got some more stability back because that's what they wanted. It was just Pete was just so terrible. He had to go. Now we got Kubiak. Now we're going to do into a full rebuild. We got the number 1 pick. Whether we keep it or trade back, that's a different story. But we have that ability. So I think all that. I think you cannot not want to be here. You know, I think he's in the precipice of being a part of that. But like Jeff said, if you're gonna do it now. If he's gonna go, if he wants out, I mean, if he wants out, he wants out. He doesn't have to tell us. Talk to Spy, talk to Spy and get that figured out, and you know they'll spin it however they want, and that's fine. That's if he wants to leave. If he doesn't want to leave, then great. Just keep doing what you're doing. Talk about it, don't talk about it. At this point, I think we're all tired of just hearing about it.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Rojas, I'm the only one from the East Coast. I live in Rhode Island. The other two are West Coasters. They're on the wrong coast. I'm on the good coast.
Go outside.
Why? It's in the 40s today.
Yeah.
It's not bad out there today. A lot of
That's
snow.
good.
It snowed last night. The fuck?
I don't know. It's cold as shit.
That's a bit of fame to show you guys all have a computer. Now they're talking about Max. Still weird. Yeah, he didn't look happy in that segment. But whatever.
Yeah, but it's just like it's there's an elephant in the room, and it's about the trade rumors. It's like, fuck, dude. Like, now he's having to address it like 3 times a year.
Yeah.
It's gotten to that point. I would be fucking tired of him. Like, fuck this shit.
He's going off on Brady. Yeah, it's 10% ownership, not 30. Well, 35, I think he said. Shit, if he had 35%, then he'd be quitting that Fox job and being a real part of the ownership.
I think they only approved them for that much. I don't know. I don't remember how that went down.
It says, I'm a real Raider fan, Raider Ben style, no fake shit like no argument for me on that one. I feel like calling you right now to chime in, but I don't want to disrupt the flow. Oh, you can call the number all you want. It's disconnected right now. So it'll just go to voice. So anybody wants to call that phone number from the show the other day, go for it. It's set up the voicemail right now. So leave a message. I'll play it Friday night. Or Saturday night. I don't know yet. Might be doing a Saturday night show from now on, which is strictly Raider fans calling in and leave voicemails. Just listen to voicemails. Whatever. Coming up with another plan. Let's see. Would you trade Max for 2 first-round picks? What?
It depends. It wouldn't have to be like it would have to be higher first round picks to get the true value that I think that Max holds. If it's like the 32nd and whoever, like if it's the Seahawks, we get the 32nd and then we trade for their next year's first. Like we're kind of expecting them to be good. So it's not going to have a really high value. It just wouldn't make sense.
I agree.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would do it for 3. But that's just me, and I'm not looking to trade Max. But
yeah,
if I'm
exactly.
looking at trade Max, if I'm like on the let's trade Max train, or if I'm Spy Tech and I want to trade Max, I would take those.
Or if somebody calls,
yeah, because that's probably the best you're gonna be able to go ahead and get, realistically. But no, I won't.
Hey, like if Cleveland calls, I'll take their first this year and their first next year because they're going to be bums again next year too. You want a team that's going to be in the top 10. That's how I look at it.
You're going to give Myles Garrett Maxx Crosby
and still not win.
Holy shit.
That makes a whole lot of sense,
they put an offense together, so what does it matter? Yeah,
it'll be the same thing as him. Like it'll be the same thing as staying here. Like they wouldn't be able to go ahead and really win. They don't have no real offense, bro. So, and this is the thing. I feel like if there's a trade that happens, he'll go to a more contender, a team that's like a piece away, like a Maxx Crosby away from like winning it, and that's going to be a lower first round pick.
Yeah,
you're not going to get a number 10. You're going to get like a 26 or something like that. There you go. See my boy Haas. He's like send him to Tampa, and again that will be a lower fucking draft pick. You're talking about like. I don't even know what they are. I think they're like 20 something. I don't even know. 18. Yeah, so you're not getting a high draft pick. You're not getting a high first. You're getting a low first.
There it is, sending the Champa. Yeah, they got a Pro Bowl quarterback. Yeah, by default. Yep.
By default.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I forgot about that too.
The
And it
alternate.
wasn't like he was voted in originally. He was only there because Drake made it play. Bo Nix wasn't going to be available. So next man up. Hey, who's number 8 on the list for the quarterbacks in the AFC? Oh, Shador Sanders. All right, he's a Pro Bowler. You're in, buddy. Come on in. Max to the Bears for all his picks.
Yep, definitely doing that.
And that's the other thing. And people are like, oh, we got to send him somewhere where he can win a championship. I'm like, why? Why the fuck do we have to do that? He doesn't have a no trade clause, so we control his destiny. It's whatever team gives us the best bang for the buck. You know, wherever he goes, he's got no say in it. I wouldn't even be asking him like, hey, where do you want to go? No. Who's giving us the most in return for you is who you're going to, plain and simple.
Yeah. But that goes back. But
No
that goes back to my main argument is that it wouldn't go to like a high draft pick team. It would probably go to a lower draft team because they're the ones that are like a couple pieces away. They're down to go ahead and give up like a first this year and a first next year. Why? Because it's like we want to go ahead and win now, you know, and he's the last piece, or he's like our second and the last piece to go ahead and make that happen. That's just the reality of it. So yeah, it wouldn't go to like, oh, he wants to go. It'll probably be a contender because they're the ones that are more desperate. You know, Browns wouldn't be desperate because they're not there, or Jets wouldn't make sense because they're not there. They're having to do a lot of things, not only defensively but offensively. They have to get that shit straight first.
No, that's not true, Lou. I'm the only one that's up on the. I wanted to trade him last year.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
You know, I this year's a better option than last year. Last year it would have been just bad getting those picks because of who was in charge last year. You know, but this year I think it would be different.
Yeah,
it would definitely be different. But
no, I'm not bueno.
what did he say?
He said Caleb Daniels. If you know, you know.
Was drafting Mendoza or not drafting? Yeah, so far behind, it doesn't matter. That's on me. What's your take on Mendoza? Has it changed any since last week?
Oh man, we're gonna have a whole 2-hour show.
He opened up he threw the grenade in the room, bro.
I just did. I just turned on the buzzsaw.
Frag out.
Run the gauntlet. Let's go.
Frag out.
Oh, for real.
Is it just me or the quality of teams been bad the last 2 seasons? I don't know. Do you see that? Quality of teams being bad? Is it because teams that are coming out of nowhere and winning successfully and making it deep in the playoffs? Is that maybe why?
Well, I think last season's Eagles team had depth every single position. Like they were good all around. So I don't think that's completely true. Maybe just this year because like who really predicted the Seahawks were going to win the Super Bowl or the Patriots would get to the Super Bowl. Like no one really thought that.
I didn't even think the Seahawks were going to make the playoffs. I didn't think the Patriots were going to win more than 4, maybe 5 games. You know, that team right there completely shocked. That's the biggest shock to me this season. Not even the Bears. Not even the Bears. For some reason, the Bears didn't surprise me. The Patriots one surprised me because
Patriots did.
I think it's because you and I both saw them live that first game, and I just thought like, all right, well, if we beat them as bad as and dysfunctional as we were with our offensive line going into the start of the season, then I don't see the Patriots being that great this year. And then bang, they just ran it. They ran it, you know. But they did have an easy schedule.
Easy schedule.
Yeah, they did, and that's why you had Will Campbell and I forgot the other guy, the guard, have success majority of the season until the playoffs where they actually started playing some really good teams and like, oh shit, Like this is a different thing here, and that's why you had to perform the Super Bowl Campbell on Super Bowl at the Super Bowl. It's
You
just
treat
you only get
Captain.
so far
Is
with your
that
rookie.
is that true, John? Derek Carr predicted Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl in September.
Did he
That's
really?
that would be crazy. I need you gotta send me that, bro.
Yeah, I
Alright,
kept saying
well,
Bills.
So
Bills
Rated
Rams.
Knight says, why was Spy and Coop saying they need to evaluate Mendoza? All right. So they did come out and ask Kubiak what he thought about Mendoza. And his answer was basically plain and simple, and it makes sense. You know, he even said himself, he goes, I watched one game. He says, I watched the championship game. So here's a guy, he's an offensive coordinator. He's got shit that needs to do with his team. He doesn't have time to
Yeah.
start evaluating. That's what your scouting department's for. They put that shit together, and then you look at it when you get a chance, basically. So he was in a mindset of, coaching the team and running the offense for the entire season. And once the playoffs started, or getting close to the end of the play, you can forget him watching college film. He's got to get ready for the teams he has to play each week. He doesn't have
Yeah.
time for that. Now he's got to go full speed and review as much as he can to get up to speed with what he sees in Mendoza, and if it's something he can work with. Because again, he may not want him. We don't know. Based on his response the other day, it's the jury's still out on whether he wants Mendoza or not. Do you feel different on that, Jay or Nate, when you saw that? I mean, did you get a feeling like that's who he wants?
To me, I think it was just a matter of answering the question in a way because he doesn't have all the information yet. Like he can't completely answer like, yes, I want to be all in on Mendoza when he hasn't really studied the film and looked at him as a prospect completely. So, I mean, I'm not really sure. Obviously, we have all of our personal opinions on the prospect of Fernando Mendoza, but I really don't know what Kubiak feels about about Mendoza. I can tell you what I feel and how I think he fits into the system, but obviously I'm not Klint Kubiak, so we are definitely going to be able to see during this draft process what everybody thinks.
Jay?
Yeah, I think he gave the right answer, bro. He said we got to evaluate.
Yeah.
For one, you don't want to tip your hand. You don't want to say we're gonna go out and get the fucking kid. Two, you really want to do your homework. I tell you guys that all the time. Check out his tape. Do your homework. Look at his game film. Don't just look at the playoffs. Look at it as a whole. If are you still sold on him? And if you are, great. And if you're not, all right, cool. State why. I think Kubiak, the way he is, that's a smart move. You want to go ahead and look at tape closely. You want to go ahead and talk to your scouts. What have they seen? Who have they talked to? Because the scouts are talking to everybody right now. I'm pretty sure they have somebody like talking to the friends, to the guys he went to school with, his high school coach, people at Cal, et cetera, et cetera. You can even go down
birthday parties.
Yeah, going down to the Pee Wees, you have pictures of Mendoza at Pee Wees, so shit like that. He has to do his homework, and so, like I said the other day, Spytek, Brady, and now Kubiak need to sit down, need to have a serious, long, intimate conversation about Fernando Mendoza, and you got to ultimately decide are we going to drop this kid and is he going to fit into our system, and if it's a yes and yes, then great, you go all in, and if it's a no, why is it a no, and then what is the plan to go ahead and trade back, and who is going to give us our maximum return, who can give us a maximum return on investment on this number one pick, right? And that now you're going to have some showmanship, or you're going to have to sell this thing that people, you want to start licking shit that you're going to get Mendoza, until the phone starts ringing, and then you hear those offers, and then eventually you'll do your thing. But I think that's a smart move. I think you have to go ahead and look at the tip. It has to make sense for both. So Fernando and for Clint Kubiak. And is he going to be the best guy to be in the system on a long term basis, not just this season? That's even if he plays this season, and that's another whole can of worms right there in itself. But in the long term basis, is he going to be the guy that's going to be efficiently more than efficient and at a high clip be able to run the offense?
So, when was the last time you guys went to a high school, college, and/or pro football game? Last game I went to was December 14th, the Philly Raiders game in Philly.
I went. I went to the Raider game on my birthday, which is November the 2nd. Well, not my birthday's not November the 2nd, but the Jaguar game was on November 2nd. College, I went to the UNM game versus uh, New Mexico State. That rivalry. There's a big rivalry out here.
Games too? Hey,
Huh?
I'm sorry?
Do you go to USC games?
Yeah, I think I went to 2 or 3 SC games this year, and then I went to 4 Raider games. I think I went to 4 Raider games this year.
You came here to New England.
Yeah, here,
You were LA.
LA.
Yes.
I went to Raiders Giants, and technically I was there for Raiders Cowboys. Yeah,
You were in the area.
I was literally a block away from the stadium. So
Yeah, see, in the area.
but no high school games this year.
Yeah, I didn't go to any high school games this year. Besides the college games around me, I'm in Rhode Island. The college games around here. Actually, Bryant's not bad. Bryant University is actually pretty.
You have UConn, don't you?
Huh?
Don't you have
UConn?
like UConn? Yeah.
That's like a 2-3 hour ride.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't go to any Ivy games? Ivy League games?
No, I don't go up there. No, are you kidding me? I'm not going on Brown's campus. It's horrible over there.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's too many. First of all, it's not that great of an area. First of all, and the Brown college students, man, they're freaking weird, dude.
Oh,
They
well.
are some weird
Yeah.
kids. Yeah.
What about
no-
Providence? Does Providence have a football team? I know they're good at basketball.
No, Providence College does not. You've got Brown University, Bryant College, and URI down in South Kingstown. So those are the three main. Those are the only 3 football. Salve Regina too, but they're in Newport. So you got 4 college teams here. The PCs for hockey and basketball. That's their famous. URI football, basketball, women's basketball especially. PC doesn't have a women's basketball team. So yeah, they're not that big around here. If I wanted to go and see like college, I'd go to Boston, like Boston College, shit like
Yeah.
that.
I was gonna say that like Boston College.
Yeah, PC.
UConn's a little bit too far for me from here. Not that I wouldn't go, it just I never really thought about going out there. What is the percentage we draft Mendoza? 80, 70, or 50?
Ooh. I think it's a little bit higher than 50% in my opinion. Probably 65. Right in between there.
I say 80. 80 to me that's
I feel
around
it,
there.
and I think you can be comfortable with saying that too, honestly.
Yeah, 80 with 20%, and you gotta have that 20%.
Right,
because you
yeah.
just don't know. Yeah, but I feel like once Kubiak kind of sees the tape and you'll hear some shit and be like, okay, we're probably gonna get him. And all the mock drafts, like the medium mock drafts, are probably gonna have us like taking him at 1 anyway. So that also helps sell it. But yeah, I feel like 80% we're gonna go ahead and take Mendoza. Mark sold on him. You heard Mark. He's like, I would love to see him in a Raider uniform, but it's not up to me.
Yeah,
That's going to be up to our general manager. And
I mean, talk about him turning over a new leaf right now. And I think it
oh
was.
yeah,
He definitely probably got a talking to as far as like, listen, you really want to put your money where your mouth is and turn this team around. Then let so and so do his job and let so and so do his thing, and we'll get this going in the right direction. Because I mean, think about it. He's got a legacy he's going to leave behind. And right now, it's not a good one as owner of this team. You know, it's not good at all since he took over. You know, and now
exactly.
the last of the Davises. That's it. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta give him his flowers. You didn't even see him up on the table, sitting at the table at the presser. He didn't even introduce Kubiak. He was just kind of chilling the cut, like I'm here to kind of enjoy the show. And that's honestly that's that's what he should do. He shouldn't be so hands on anymore. Let's spy tech. To some degree, let Brady kind of run the fucking drive the bus, bro. Sit back there and chill. Do what you do with the WNBA team. Just chill and just show up to the games, bro. That's and cut the check. That's all we need you to do. That's it.
I think if everything goes right and Kubiak is here for the full 5 years and this team is turned around and going in the right direction and we're winning consistently and we're making playoff runs and everything, that's going to have a huge impact on Mark's legacy. He's going to be known as the guy that turned the team around after almost 15 years of god awful ownership and bad decision after bad decision. So he wants to see it happen, and then by him taking a back seat finally, it should hopefully happen.
Yeah.
And I think you were right too on what someone said in the chat. I know you said it too, Jay. I think we said it the other day too, that the way Kubiak answered the questions, he answered them like politically correct, basically. Like if he's running for office, he's answering the questions as not to, do any damage to what he's planning going forward and what the team's planning going forward. First of all, you're not going to come out and somebody says, "What do you think about Mendoza?" He's not going to say, "Oh, we're taking him." You're not going to show your hand. You're going to keep that shit close to the vest. And I think he was truthful when he said that he only watched that one game, and I get it. These guys don't have time to watch these college games. They're
of course,
on their own personal games.
Yeah, he knows of him. He's probably seen like the highlight clips, and he's like, okay, this cat has some talent. But to really make an evaluation, you got to get like the film and really sit down and break every play down in a sense, and decision making and whatnot. And so he has to do all that, and it's a long process. And he's gonna have to go ahead and rely on the scouting team to go ahead and help him with that as well, because there's only so much time that you can dedicate to looking at film, looking at tape on the guy. I mean,
your mic again.
Can you hear me?
Yep, there you go.
Okay. I said you could probably get it done in a month, but you also have to think about the second round pick, third round pick, fourth round pick. We have a few fourth round picks. What are we going to do with those? So you have to also think about that and how you're going to go ahead and build. And you need some defensive players as well. We got 10 picks as of right now. We have to also figure out what we're going to do on the other side of the ball, not just offensive.
What are your record predictions for the next couple of years?
Nothing for this year.
I'm not. I've already said it. I'm not giving any win-loss predictions for this season. I don't care what we get for wins or losses. I give Kubiak a pass on the wins and losses. I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see a better product on the field. I want to see production. I want to see the team coming together, gelling, working as a unit. I don't want to see this division within the team. I want to see progress. That's all. I want to see the product on the field, plain and simple. I don't care whether we win or lose, to be honest with you. Do I want us to not win a game? No, I don't want us to go 0-17. But I'm not going to sit here and say, no, I think we're going to win 6 to 7 games. I mean, I've seen people in chat saying, we could win 11 games this year with him as our coach and with the picks and Mendoza. And I'm like, slow down.
Yeah.
People think that we're going to be able to flip this around like Chicago and Washington did. If we do, that's great.
Right.
Fucking happy day for all of us, obviously. No one's going to be pissed about that. I'm not going to be pissed.
Yeah.
You also have to hope that we do the same thing the following year, because both those teams, well, Washington did. You don't know what Chicago's going to do next year. Now they might have just blown her all in one load this season.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. I would just say this is going to be under 8 wins. Under 8
I think so. Yeah, I think it'll be under 8 as well.
Oh yeah. And big luck, you leave PF Chang's alone. That's fucking
it is though. It is.
Can't blame Mark for fucking.
Hey, he ought to do like Devontae Adams did in his house. He put the Taco Bell in. He ought to put a PF Chang's in his
right.
house.
You know what he should do? He should hire one of the cooks at PF Chang's. He got
There you go.
time he wants, bro. There you go.
Ani says 6-11 next season and 11-6 after that. He's going 5 wins, 8 wins, 10 wins, AFC divisional, and 2031 Super Bowl loss. If not Mendoza, who would you guys be looking for veteran leadership with the available free agents or still draft a QB to grow? Go ahead.
What my boy say?
It says, if not Mendoza, who would you guys be looking for veteran leadership with the available free agents or still draft a QB to grow?
Go ahead, Nick. You want to?
I think this is where the Raiders are kind of handcuffed here to the fact that we kind of have to pick a quarterback this season. Whether that's Fernando Mendoza, obviously that's anyone's guess at this point, but of course we're all saying it's more likely than not. But if we don't hypothetically pick Mendoza, I think we still have to pick one. And the other side of that coin of not picking Mendoza is then who do you stick with or who do you go with? Is it a quarterback that we currently have on our roster, which all 3 of them didn't play well this year? So I don't think Klint Kubiak does that. The only person that maybe stays is probably AOC, but I don't know. That's still kind of a stretch too. We don't really know what's going to go happen with the quarterback room because it's kind of full already at this point. So somebody is leaving, and my guess is going to be Pickett. Yeah, because he's a free agent either way. So yeah,
he's gone for sure, and Gino should be gone too. And and the reason why I say even though he's under contract, the way that he played this year, not just that, but the way he treated Raider Nation, I think, and just kind of the accountability and just really relying on Pete to kind of bail him out and defend him all the time. I don't think that's definitely not going to fly with Klint. But I just think his attitude and the way he feels about this fan base and everything, even though he apologized or whatever, I think it's clear cut. You don't want that dude in the building, for whatever resentment he feels. I mean, we were pretty hard on him. We were critical. I'm not with fucking exception. I dug into that dude, but hey, rightfully so, bro. I mean, he was out there fucking, trying to buy for the best, trying to buy for the defensive player of the year. And he was out there just throwing fucking picks left and right. So how can you not criticize that? And obviously I know he didn't like it. I mean, so much so that he went ahead and unfollowed the Raiders off all social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have to get rid of him. You have to let him move on. We move on. That marriage just did not work. But the worst thing you could do is have him in the building. You drop Fernando Mendoza or you drop a different rookie. Now you run the risk of poisoning the well. And that's
exactly
when you're trying to build culture, your new coach, your new staff, you want to be able to build the culture the right way. You want to have good attitudes in the building. You don't want to have a negative Nancy or
sour grapes,
from the previous regime that just didn't work out. Max feeling what he feels. Max has been here forever and a day, and we, at the end,
he has the right to feel that, honestly.
Right, exactly, because he's been here for so long. He's rocked. He's rocked with us for so long. we know where he stands. That's the exception. But a guy like Gino is not. A guy like Devin White is not the exception. These guys, if we know where their attitudes were at, they're probably not going to be here in a few weeks. So that's just kind of the way I see it. It's just you got to go ahead and get rid of the guy. It's probably be AOC. If it's another veteran, we probably get somebody from free agency. You have to draft a quarterback. If it's not Fernando, just like Nate said.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson, Chamberlain, Nussmeier. That's another guy to go ahead and kind of keep your eye on. So you draft a quarterback no matter what. Now the question is, it's going to be at number 1 or is it going to be at a different round? That's just kind of how it is. I feel that they're just going to go with Mendoza. He's probably going to be the best probability fit Kubiak system, and they probably just don't want to risk it trying to get somebody else next year. I don't think they can. I don't think they'll have the balls for that. If I have to be honest about that, I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll play the safer route and get their guy this year and build off of him. If really Fernando's is just a complete no, then you'll see that trade back happen.
I know Money Chuck said it here too. It says next season we play 9 playoff teams. I'm guessing about 4 to 7 wins at best. I know a lot of you guys in here saying
agree.
8 wins, 9 wins, 7 wins. What's going to happen? What's going to be your take when they say we only win 3 games next year? Is that considered a failure for you guys if you're thinking that many wins? Like, say we just have the same exact record we just had now. Do you think that's a failure for the year?
I think it depends on how it looks. Obviously, this season it looked bad, like really bad.
Yeah, you said exactly what I was hoping you were going to say.
Yeah.
And we knew we knew that we're not going to have a good year, but the way it just looked on the field was just like, fuck, bro, what the fuck is going on over here? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? And like, there was no progression. So if we would have won 5 games as opposed to the 3 or the 4, right? And let's say with Pete, the Pete era, right? Pete being here and won 5 games, and it would have like, all right, cool. We're working towards something. It's 5 wins. We won one more game than last year. We're at least heading into the right direction. This past season we went reverse. So it's like, how can you justify that dude still being here? And then the way that the team just looked out there like so poorly, it just was not going to happen. If Pete would still be here, we're probably going to have another 3-14 season, maybe less, maybe 2 wins. It would have been that bad.
Look, we've been rebuilding for the past 20 years since 2002. Let's say we go all in this offseason with big contracts, best players, and it doesn't work out. How long does that set us back? Well, first of all, that's not what they're going to do. That's not what this year is going to be about. With a brand new head coach coming in, the number 1 overall draft pick, the amount of needs we have, we don't have the luxury of going and spending money for big, best players available and big ass contracts and all these shiny names. This is where the scouting team is going to play such an integral part this year, more so than ever, because number 1, you got a brand new head coach coming in here. So he has to get acclimated to everything that goes on within the organization. He has to set up his entire system the way that he likes it for himself and his coaching staff. So they're not going to be running out there and taking these big contract chances, going for these big shiny players. They're going to be building this team through free agency to some extent and actually doing their homework and investigating into these players that are coming out in the draft and taking what's best available. That's going to help this team grow in the vision that they've got as the coaching staff. So this isn't going to be like what it was last year. Pete Carroll tried doing what you just said right here last year, but he didn't do a good job of it because he really didn't bring in anybody big and flashy and spend big money on contracts. He was in a win now mode, and he said it himself. you know, we're here to win, and we're going to win 10 games, and he fell short by 7. You know, so that's not going to be this season. This season's going to be different because I think Spytek's got a grab of this year. He's got a handle on this, and it's going to be the way that him and Kubiak and obviously Tom Brady in there somewhere. It's going to be their vision on what they want to do. They want to put a winning product on the field. It's going to take time. It's not going to be an overnight success. So I don't think so. This doesn't even happen. What you say here, to be honest with you, I don't think that's even I don't even think they're thinking.
We're not going to get big contracts like that. You might see a couple, but you're not going to see like everything is a fucking home run. It's not going to look like that. You're going to get guys that are complimentary. The big names that you probably see is just offensive linemen, and maybe Raheed Shaheed comes here, and I think that'll probably be the biggest drop in the bucket because he's a free agent this year, and that'll probably be a guy that Kubiak goes after because of the familiarity. They just won the fucking Super Bowl together. So for him to want the opportunity to come here and maybe add a little bit of discount, I think that happens. But other than that, Linderbaum and then maybe like another offensive lineman and then everything else is going to be like lower grade guys that are not going to make it.
You might again.
Big splash. So,
there you go. It's working.
Yeah.
So you're talking about really shitting the bed to win 3 games. Well, I'm just saying, if we do only win 3 games, everybody that's saying we're going to win, what's going to be the take on Kubiak? And I think, Big Luck said, fire him. That's the sad part. That's
already
I'm telling you that. No. He's saying if we only win 3 games, we have the same type of season we had last year, where we don't see the progress and we don't see what we're hoping to see, the signs of moving forward. Fans are going to be screaming that because that's just the way fans are. If it doesn't go the way they want it to go, they're going to lose their shit. And that's why I keep saying fans have to be patient.
We have to be patient, bro. 100%. If it's 3 wins again, I'm cool. If it's 2 wins or less, then we can have that discussion depending how it looks.
Right.
I highly doubt that it's going to look the same. It's just we have an offensive-minded coach, and we've had an offense that's been anemic for like 3 fucking years. That's been the problem. The problem hasn't been really on the defensive side of the ball. It's been on the offensive side. We can't get anything fucking going. We can't score points on the board sometimes. It's that bad. So they brought in the guy who just won the fucking Super Bowl to fix that and to lead this team. So I think it gets fixed really by year 2, but it's going to look better this year.
I don't know where you're coming from with this comment here. So dude's always talking about the Broncos because of his dad. Like, shut the fuck. You got to understand, when he was around the Broncos, those are some damn good teams. He picked up a lot of good shit from that. His dad played for him. He was a coach. How do you expect him not to talk about the team? I don't get it. He says, dude didn't study Raider history before he got the job. How do you know that? How do you know he doesn't know the history of the Raiders? Nobody came out and asked him questions about the past where he's going to sit there and be grilled on it in a press conference or anything. So you don't know what he knows and what he doesn't know.
Maybe he was talking about Pete because I think it's been on there for a minute.
Huh?
Pete, to me, I think he was talking about Pete. I don't know. I could be.
Yeah, because Kubiak was talking. He says it right here. Dude talked about the Broncos, his dad, because of his dad. Because Gary Kubiak was a player and a coach for the Broncos. So Klint grew up around the Broncos. I mean, he grew up around some amazing players at that time.
Yeah.
And that's what he's saying. He didn't study Raider history before he got the job. How do you know that? I haven't heard anything. I don't know whether he knows history or not. Like to think
he said he knows the history of, like, obviously Broncos versus Raiders.
Definitely
that rivalry.
West. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. But he knows that. He knows the rivalry between us and the Broncos. It runs deep.
He
It
knows
runs
it's a rivalry.
for decades. Yeah.
Unlike our last coach, Jack Kennedy, just booked tickets to Bakersfield.
Let's go, Jack.
Nice. Are you going this year, Nate?
I'm planning on it. Yeah.
Jay, you going again this year too? Or no?
I think I should be going. Yeah, I do want to go back to Cali. I need to go see the fan bam over there and take the kiddos. So
If I'm guessing
for
right,
sure.
we see Mendoza play until game 6 or 8. I just want to see our O-line fix, one game working, and not get man.
I think if we do draft Mendoza, he's starting right away. I don't see him waiting, even if we have Gino still on the team or whoever it is, like a veteran. I still think Mendoza starts right away.
What about you, Jeff? If they draft Mendoza, do you want him to start right away?
I think it depends on who is the actual. I think it depends on who the other quarterback in the room is at that point. I think he needs to sit as long
If
as
it's Kirk Cousins, we sign Kirk Cousins.
season starts with Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 100%, bro. That's going to be your indicator on how they're going to go about it.
Yeah, I mean, again, if we draft him, I'm all on it. I'm again, if we take him, I'm gonna support the kid, and I'm gonna want to see him succeed. I'm not gonna sit here and hope that he gets hurt and hope he's doing.
Big luck.
I'm not doubting his ability. So I just don't want to see him put out there if the team around him is not ready to protect him, because this is a big investment. This is our future.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
I say if it's Kirk Cousins, or I think if it's any quarterback, to be honest with you, even if it's AOC 12, that's who's starting the season. I think that's what it's going to be. They're going to give him some more time. They might get him in garbage time, after the first week or so. So I could see possibly that happening. If we're either getting blown out or we're somehow blowing somebody out, get him out there. Get him out there. Let him get some actual game time, not preseason, but actual legit NFL, in-season game time. Don't do like we did last year, where we didn't get guys in until way late in the season when they should have been mixed to the mix when we were losing, because we were constantly losing. So there was plenty of opportunity where we could have gotten those guys involved earlier.
Yeah.
And how we become the most generic.
A big like that might happen, bro. It could be AOC if they don't pick up a bridge. AOC could potentially be the bridge if they really want Mendoza to sit. But it's gonna be up to Kubiak. It's gonna be up to Kubiak whether he wants to go ahead and start him or he doesn't. It wouldn't be Brady. It would be Kubiak. Brady wouldn't have that decision. Kubiak is the one that's actually running the team. Brady is out in fucking location doing the Fox thing, bro. That dude got no time to to start this dude. It'll come from Spy Tech. That'll be more realistic thing.
See, Brady Primos gets it.
Yep.
There you go. Shout out to my guy Primos.
Patience. If he said he's named one old Raider head that I would know, how do I know you would know? In today's day and age, I could say a name and you do 2 seconds. You're gonna have it typed in somewhere and you're gonna know it. 15 years ago,
it should be reversed, dog. It should be reversed. You put out a name.
Well, he's gonna just Google one.
Yeah, that's true. There you go.
I'm giving Kubiak 2 years. 2027 is the year we're a playoff team. Jesus. Just said it, Ja Raider. Patience. Where are we with the Bears?
I can't wait for the online coach.
We already covered the rumors. What was your take on the Super Bowl? What did you guys think?
It was kind of boring. Honestly, kind of boring.
Was boring.
Yeah, right. I was expecting it to be a lot higher offensive power. We didn't see that, but man, did the defenses on both sides play out of their minds, bro. Christian
Yeah.
Gonzalez completely. Oh my goodness, Christian Gonzalez was nasty that game.
Oh yeah, bro.
He was so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Almost nearly single-handedly keeping them in the game the entire time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He was so good. And
Yeah.
every time he would make a play, I'd be like, Tyree Wilson.
Yeah.
Tyree Wilson.
Totally. 100%, dude. It's like, God damn it. You know, and I thought the funny thing, too, was, you know, Will Campbell looked okay during the season, but again, that shows you how weak their schedule was, because once they got to the playoffs, that offensive line was getting rolled.
Mm.
I mean, Drake made 21 sacks. He got sacked 21 times. He broke an NFL record for most sacks in a playoff run in one season. 21 sacks, 6 in the Super Bowl. When was the last time you heard 6 sacks in the Super Bowl?
It's crazy.
That's insane. That's balls, bro.
Philly sacked Mahomes pretty good, I think, in the Super Bowl last year, didn't they?
I think Tampa did too.
Yeah. But still, 6 sacks, that's a lot, man. He was running for his damn life out there. But, I mean, the first half was boring, yes. It was slow. But second half, I was much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. Once and this is again, got to give Kubiak his flowers. He was able to go ahead and find a way to open up and get through Mike Vrabel's fucking defense, bro. And that defense was on point.
Mm-hmm.
And they this is what you get with the guy like Klint Kubiak, and that's what I'm saying. Like I said on Monday, it's like if this doesn't fucking show you, if you weren't sold on Klint Kubiak before, you should be fucking sold on him now. The guy went out there, put up 2 touchdowns, but their offense was struggling the first half. They couldn't get anything going. They had some 3 and outs. They performed better than the Patriots offense, but they couldn't get they're fucking up in the red zone. They couldn't score a touchdown the first half. So he had to go ahead and adjust that up, and then sure enough, once they started running the ball more, they were able to go ahead and open up the air game with the play action. So that's all Klint Kubiak. That's just scheming. So if you weren't sold on him before, go ahead and watch the second half of the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And again, he did what I was hoping he was going to do. I wanted to see how he adjusted at halftime if they weren't doing so, because they weren't doing that great on offense in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Second half, they came out like a different team. Granted, Kenneth Walker was still having a really good first half, though.
Oh yeah.
Give him that. So I think overall it was a decent Super Bowl. And I get you, Money Chuck. I don't think they were the best ever either. Best ever defense. I mean, they were damn good. They're up near the tops, but I don't think they were the best ever. You know,
100%. 100%. Don't trip. 100%, bro.
Watched the game live myself. That '85 Bears team was still amazing because they really didn't have much of an offense, and we're talking about a team that had Walter Payton.
2000s Ravens.
They were, yeah, they're up there too. Yep.
That's where I was going with last year for Coach.
100%.
What was that?
For Coach, so he said, so why don't people ever want to talk about building this D-line? That's where I was going with last year, and my thought was, drafting Mason Graham and adding him to Christian Wilkins and Maxx Crosby, and hopefully what we were hoping was a good Malcolm Kuntz. Because we've seen in the Super Bowl that Philly got to Patrick Mahomes, and that is exactly what you said in your next comment here. Is that's exactly how we have to get to these quarterbacks, is you have to do with a 4-man rush without sending your extra linebackers, because they're just going to pick off people, whoever the linebacker or wherever the vacant spot is going to be. The quarterbacks in our division are too good, and the coaching is too good. They're going to be able to scheme it all open. So I completely agree that it's a big piece of our defense that needs to be addressed, and I feel like hasn't been addressed. And hopefully once we get that DC, we're going to have a lot better knowledge on what his philosophy is as far as building that defensive line.
What I mean, you have a little bit of talent and like Lualu and then Thomas Booker. I like Thomas Booker.
I like Thomas
But
Booker too.
in the draft, you can go ahead and potentially get some guys too. I think this is going to be a good class for like the D tackles and like edges that are coming out. I mean, anybody from fucking the Texas Tech defense is probably going to be a good guy to go ahead and go after. They had a fucking great fucking defense, They slowed down Oregon a lot in the playoffs. So anybody from that defense, from Texas Tech, they play defense, you definitely want to go ahead and keep an eye on. But like you said, whoever they get defensive coordinator is also, what their philosophy is, how they're going to go ahead and run that defense is going to be important. So, yeah.
What's my favorite halftime show? Kendrick, neither one of them. Neither one of them.
I lean more on Kendrick. I like Bad Bunny though. He's cool. But
I thought this one was stupid this year.
But you don't like the jungle?
Well, have you seen any of the camera angles from people up in the stands watching the game? You couldn't even see.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
You can't see anything. All you're seeing is grass on grass in the field. You couldn't tell where he was. You couldn't even see him from up anywhere in the stadium for the most part.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Most of the videos from people's cell phones, you're looking down on the field, and the only way you knew where he was you could see the cameraman. All of a sudden, the cameraman comes backing out of the grass, and he's running out, and then he goes back in again, and
Yeah, he wore something to kind of like emulate like the football, I guess, like a light brown, and
it was all white, like eggshell white,
No, it was like a light brown. I don't know, maybe I'm
to me on my screen. But yeah, no, if I had a back for halftime shows, the Prince's was still Prince, Michael Jackson. Those were awesome. Prince in the Rain was amazing. That one. That was a good halftime show.
Yeah. I like the Dre and Snoop one. That one was cool.
So Money Chuck's listed them here: Bears, Baltimore, Giants, San Fran, Dallas, even the Seahawks when they won their first Super Bowl. True. Yeah, the Legion of Doom during that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I resent the fact of what's his name calling it the dark side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Got his name. Fuck that.
I'm not into. I don't listen to new music. So Kendrick, I watched it last year, but it is what it is.
It wasn't good, Jeff. It's all right. You can say it.
It's not. A lot of this new music just sucks. I'm sorry.
Jeff's all about CCR, bro.
I don't even like Creedence. I do not like Creedence.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you, if that shit hits on anything I'm listening on, bang, I'm skipping it. I don't listen to them. I'm not a fan of Creedence. Not at all.
It's not on his playlist.
Yeah, Whitney Houston wasn't bad.
Maybe some like Megadeth or
good.
something like that.
YouTube was good. Aerosmith was gross. That was a bad one. Any final thoughts for you guys? What you got going on? Nate, you going to an amusement park tomorrow, or are you gonna be around tomorrow night?
Yes, I will be around tomorrow. There's no games tomorrow. There's no Disneyland tickets.
Bomb this weekend. I know last week you went to Disneyland.
Yeah, there's no hockey right now either.
Yeah, they went to the Olympics, so
yeah,
we're good. There's no hockey games. Baseball hasn't started yet, so
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. It's only Olympics.
All right, so you will see Nate and I tomorrow night on Raiders Coast to Coast. We got to come up with something good tomorrow night because we're just rehashing the same shit.
Yeah, definitely.
We got to do a game tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Never know. There might be a name that gets dropped tomorrow. Maybe they'll announce.
Yeah, take what
Mantena's
to talk about, and then we'll.
I know, huh?
Hey,
Well,
we
let's-
hired so and so as the assistant tight end coach. Okay,
What do you think about him? I don't even know him.
I don't even know who he is. Never heard of him.
No, they'll probably say they bought out Jim Shorts' contract. They'll be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Boom.
See, I would like that. I don't know if that's gonna happen tomorrow, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
right. Exactly. That's kind of wishful thinking, but
You
yeah.
know, it's real quick. Speaking of halftime shows, the one I thought they would have done when we hosted it at Allegiant, I thought what would have been a really good halftime show would have been doing
Wayne
a
Newton.
tribute to all the old, like original Vegas acts. You know, like the Frank.
But that's the
Sinatra.
problem is they're old.
But you know what I'm getting at, though. Stop it.
No,
Listen.
I know.
You know, like Elvis Presley, you know, all doing all that in Vegas. That would have made sense. That would have totally made sense doing that in Vegas. The first time ever hosting the Super Bowl in Vegas, why not pay homage to what the Vegas shows used to be like back in the day? Like, you know, you doing a Rat Pack thing and, you know, Elvis and Neil Diamond, all that stuff, you know. You'd have like a whole slurry of them out there. That
Was
would have
that the Usher year? That was the Usher year?
I don't remember, bro. I don't remember who
was
sang.
that the one with all the mirrors and shit?
Perform-
You got sick watching it.
I don't remember.
So
I
what would
think
you
it
have
was
like
the Usher
like
year.
fucking impersonators? and
Weekend.
shit? Like,
Was it the weekend at Vegas?
The weekend
Maybe
is who you're thinking of, but I don't
Yeah.
know if it was.
Vegas though?
That sounds right. If it was in Vegas,
I forget who the act was for the Vegas.
it was either the weekend or Usher, though. It's one of those two guys.
yeah, I think it was Usher. I
You
don't
know, I
remember
think
something
it was
with Usher.
He was already in Vegas.
Usher halftime show or something.
Oh, he had the residence. He had his residency that year.
I think that's what it was. I think it was him.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I honestly don't.
for sure.
It was.
Yeah, I
Usher.
think the Big Luck says it was Usher. There you go. I remember he like seeing the Usher, like the halftime show with Usher.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that one kind of made you kind of sick watching that one. Just all the moving around inside the mirrors and everything. I think you gotta take your freaking Dramamine before you stop that one. Jeff's AI music is easier on the ears than the shit on radio nowadays. Yeah, you're not kidding. I can't stand that stuff now. Damn, Jeff, way older than me with Elvis.
Yeah, who would you have sing Elvis? Like, are you gonna get an impersonator? Fucking,
You're gonna get Austin Butler to go sing Elvis.
If you
I
watch,
know, right?
if you watch America's Got Talent, a couple of years ago, they had this guy come up and he did it's like a computer generated image of, like, say you yourself, like Jay. It's your image, but you're singing like an Elvis song. You know, then this guy came out. He did the singing himself, but the image was a computer image of the actual Elvis from back in the day singing the song, but it was this guy's voice singing instead. I mean, it was actually pretty cool to watch as he was.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool for them. Well, we might get the Super Bowl. I think in 2029. I read somewhere.
Yeah, it is.
on Instagram. I think so.
Yeah.
I think next year is in LA at SoFi. And
Yeah.
I think the year after it's Atlanta at the Mercedes Benz, and I think we're gonna bid on for 29. So they might. You never know.
I think it's already set.
Stadium.
I don't know. I think I don't know if they have it, but like a bid and to do like an AI version of that, where you have a couple of like Elvis and then but it's on a screen and it looks realistic, and then you have like Wayne Newton and so some still living Vegas performers, but then you get like a current guy to like cap it off, and hit that. The last like 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
The first Super Bowl in Vegas, you didn't do anything to pay respects to the actual city itself for what it was known for. Not the gambling, but like all the shows, because that's what a lot of people go there for, not just the gambling too. That's why these headliners were there in the first place. They were there to make the money for bringing people into the shows.
Yeah, it is Atlanta and then Vegas.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
So hey, we could be playing in our own stadium by then. Who knows? We could play a
Hey,
Super-
that might be a realistic thing, bro.
It's possible.
Mhm.
Possible. So Jay, what do you got going on? You got anything coming up?
I don't have anything coming up for the rest of this week. I'll be back next Monday with brand new Raiders Unfiltered. So make sure you guys go ahead and tap in for that. Hit the notification in case something in news goes down. A coach gets named. I'll go ahead and do a pop up show, and we'll go ahead and talk about it. But yeah, next Monday I'll be back home. Plus, we're gonna celebrate. Oh, shout out to my boy who's over there, cranky as fuck. He's about to turn a year old, so we're probably gonna
Nice.
celebrate his 1 year this weekend. Hopefully, he doesn't get sick. I think he's sick. Hopefully, he gets better, and we can take him to the zoo and do some fun shit. But his birthday is next Tuesday, so he'll be a year old. Damn, a year flies by, bro.
For real.
And then Nate, you got anything else going on besides you and I tomorrow night?
No, just tomorrow night. Yeah, that's really it.
That's it. All right. So yeah, you'll see Nate and I tomorrow night, Raiders Coast to Coast, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. Again, make sure you guys hit all the channels, hit the subs, hit the notifications, hit the thumbs up, and make sure you guys definitely check in over at Nate's channel. We got to get his numbers back up there. We got to get him climbing. So I got nothing else. We good?
All good. Peace
Yeah,
out, everybody.
Stay safe and go Raiders, baby.
Peace.
Raider Nation. It's time to connect. Leo, Jay, Nate, Jeff, right. Yeah. Silver and black. The crew is insane. Breaking down the madness before you can blink. Another week, wow, another storyline. But the Raider connection keeps it all in line. From Vegas lights to the East Coast grind. We talk that truth, no filter, no rewind. Four voices strong, so buckle in tight. It's time to bring the nation to life tonight. This is a Raider Connection show, where the silver and black stories flow. Leo, J, Nate, and Jeff on go, breaking every play down blow by blow. R and 4L, you already know. Welcome to the Raider Connection show. Leo with the facts, breaking down the scene. Jay brings a fire, keeping takes real mean. Nate on the road with the vibe and the view. And Jeff swings heavy when the nation needs truth. Wins or losses, we show up proud. Raising Raider Nation, loud and loud. Hit that chat, pull up, don't wait. This is family, this is connection, this is fate. Silver shields up, the energy grows. Four voices united everywhere that it goes. Every first down, every heartbreak hit. Raider Nation stay locked, we don't quit. This is the Raider Connection show, where the silver and black stories flow. Leo, J, Nate, and Jeff on go, breaking every play down blow by blow. R and 4L, that's how we roll. Welcome to the Raider Connection show. So grab your drink, hit subscribe, let's ride. Raider Nation strong, we never divide. From kickoff to the final echo, you're tuned into the Raider Connection show. Hey! Tuned into the Raider Connection show.